Here we are, everyone. Welcome, welcome on this fine and fabulous Tuesday night. We are coming to you from the Dominican Republic, myself in Cabarete, Johan in Santiago, and we are breaking ground in Punta Cana. We are talking about the Riviera Bay project from Novel Properties. So let's get to it. No funny business here. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Michelle Bordeaux. I am a realtor and a sales expert with Realtor DR here on the North Coast in the Dominican Republic. I am once upon a time from Canada, and I say once upon a time because I moved here in 1999. And so I have been here. This is my 25th year of living on this beautiful, incredible island that I've chosen to call home. I was 25, I learned to windsurf. I decided to stay, and I was a massage therapist at the time. Long story short, I ended up buying property when I was about 29, best thing I ever did. And I slowly opened an award-winning spa. And through my time here, I've run into our incredible broker owners here, Brett and Robert, and I chose to step into real estate. So not only am I an entrepreneur, massage therapist, I own a spa, and I'm a realtor. I am also a homeowner here in the Dominican Republic, and I've taken that leap not once, but twice. So I come to you both as a realtor and as someone who has taken the leap to this island and purchased property. So now I wish to introduce you to my amazing co-host, Johan, and he's going to tell you a little bit about himself. So welcome.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, Michelle, and thank you everyone for being here. I know your time is important, and we truly appreciate the fact that you're present, and you won't regret it. We have a great opportunity to show you today, and before we get into it, as you can see in the screen, my name is Johan Ferriet. I'm a real estate advisor with extensive experience in the Dominican Republic, and as you can see over there, I quite understand the unique challenges of buying or selling properties in a foreign country, and that's what we're going to be here for, so that we can help you make a great decision. Back in the days, I used to be an English teacher. Now I'm a realtor, or real estate advisor. You might think that there's a big difference between one professional life and the other, but it's just quite a little bit difference. Back in the days, I was just teaching English. Now I'm still teaching because I'm an educator and I feel passion for it. But the only difference is that now I'm educating people on how to make a great decision in the real estate world. And this is the real reason why we're here for you. Why, as Michelle said, she is a owner of properties here in the Dominican Republic. I'm also an owner of two properties in the Dominican Republic, one with Novel and some other properties that are from other developers, okay? So let's just stop it right there when it comes to Johan Ferrijet, and let's get things going because you are the stars of this night. Michelle?
Exactly. And so we want to start just zooming out a little bit and talk a little bit about the Dominican Republic and why it's such an amazing place and why we feel very passionately about the project we're about to present to you, but because it's about the place and it's about the people. So a little bit about the DR, if you didn't know already, okay, it is right in the center of the Caribbean between Cuba and Puerto Rico. And we share the island with Haiti. So we are the eastern 2/3 and Haiti has the western 1/3 of the island. We are quite big. We're just slightly larger than Switzerland or Denmark. And we have a population of over 11 million here. And we are on the Atlantic Ocean with part of it, a little bit of the Caribbean Sea on the south coast, which is where we're going to be talking about in Punta Cana today. So, we also have lots of mountains and whatnot. So why should you come to the DR? So the DR is a wonderful island that's very diverse with its landscapes and environments. We have mountains, we have beaches, we have lagoons, we have mangroves, we have desert area. We really true, and as the Dominican tourism slogan goes, the DR has it all, which it really does. We have vibrant culture. Dominican people are some of the most warm, loving, open, energetic people that I've ever met. We have amazing
dancers. Don't forget about that.
What's that?
Great dancers. Do not forget.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great dancers. You get to live, we have a booming tourism industry, especially in Punta Cana. Punta Cana is the mecca of tourism here in the Dominican Republic. We have a very stable government. It's a question I get a lot, and the government here is very, very stable. We have the fastest growing economy in Latin America, and we have an incredible quality of life, affordable healthcare, and what you're going to see is international schools as well, for those of you who are thinking to move here versus just invest here. So now that we know a little bit about me, a little bit of Johan, a little bit about the DR, let's dive into this project that we'd like you to know about tonight, which is called Riviera Bay. Yeah. So what is this project all about? So first of all, what you need to know is you need to know who's building it, and we want to tell you a little bit about Noval Properties. So they've got 20 years of experience. They have chosen strategic locations. The number of properties that this company has built it's incredible. It really is. And it makes you go, wow, I did not think that would all have been possible on this one island, but yet it is. They come up with incredibly innovative designs that are both stunning and thoughtful in not only how they appear on the outside, but how they function for you as an owner. And they're great investments. You get at least 6% return. They've delivered over 1,000 units, and there are 6,000 projected properties. That's incredible. Johan, tell me a little bit about the company from your perspective, since you are working with Noval.
Yes, absolutely. I think there's a word that I would like to use whenever I'm talking about Noval, and it's family. This is not just a company. This is a family that has been working together hard, working hard for about 20 years. And when I'm talking about 20 years and the fact that you mentioned this, 1,000 units delivered, this is something important that I have to say. In about 20 years, developments promised, developments delivered. We have never, ever stopped a single development. We have always delivered what we've promised. And Noval, for example, is this type of company that came to the Dominican Republic to change everything, to change the game, to change the way people build, to change the way people invest, and to change the concept of what a great development is all about. Okay, something, when you see Noval's developments, you're talking about great quality European finishes. You're talking about, so many amenities to enjoy once you're part of a development, not mentioning the fact that since this is a company that develops touristic developments, you get to have this great opportunity of tax exemptions through the Confiture law. So at the end,
and we'll get into those details at the end. Yeah.
3 things to finish that I would say that truly determine what Noval is all about. Best product, location. We're talking about a company that makes everything possible to select the best locations for the development so that you as an investor can have a great return of investment and great things to do all around. Okay. And the last thing is the fact that we use, furnitures that are coming from Europe, as I said to you, brands like Teka, Durabi, Don Ceramic, and many other things more that you're going to know about after this slide that Michelle is going to be talking about.
Yeah. So we are going to be flowing in the best space in the Caribbean. Cana Bay is located in a beautiful area near, what is it? It's called, it's Arena Gorda.
Exactly. That's correct.
Punta Arena Gorda, the beach. So it is beautiful, stunning white sand. It is the picture that comes up when you say white sandy beaches is going to be Punta Cana. And it really showcases the best things that you could ever think about when you close your eyes and you imagine a Caribbean island. This is where this is going to be located. Okay. And by choosing Riviera Bay, you gain much more than a home. You do situate yourself in the heart of the world's most vibrant region, and you do gain a lifestyle that we're about to show you all of the amazing amenities that come along with Riviera Bay. So here is a stunning picture of the outdoor render. Riviera Bay is going to be located right next to the Hard Rock Golf Course, which, boom, there we go. Here's a map. Let's see where we're going to be. Here are all your beautiful white sandy beaches. Okay, this is the Playa Reina Gorda. Okay, and the Club Cana Bay, which we'll tell you a little bit more about in a moment. Here's the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, and here is Riviera Bay. What more could you ask for in an investment property, both for yourself personally or it as a business venture, then being located and situated right next to these incredible spaces that are available for the use for you or your clients. So we're 2 minutes from the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. All right. We're near nightclubs, 2 different golf courses. You're only a 10-minute drive to the beach. All right. You're 13 minutes to a world-class medical center. All right. You're 17 minutes to yet another golf course. So there's 3 golf courses within 20 minutes. Okay. You're 17 minutes to Macau Beach. If we've got any surfers on tonight, Macau Beach has a great surf break. And all of our friends in the South, this is where they surf. They can't make it up to Cabarete, they surf in Macau. And you're close to downtown Punta Cana, different adventure parks. Everything is at your fingertips here.
Yeah. And cherry on top, you have the enclosed resort community, one of the most prestigious ones in Punta Cana, and it's 24/7 security. So you always be protected once you're in Cana Bay. This is crucial.
Yes. So here you can see that this is another beautiful render of what the building is going to look like when it's built. And this design has been modern and minimalist. All right. And it offers you comfortable spaces that you can enjoy that are stunning and give you beautiful views out to the pool and near the golf course. So here's a look at what could possibly be your next home. At Riviera Bay, there's going to be 110 units in this. There's going to be pool, social areas. There are 1, 2, and 3-bedroom units available. There is private parking, 24-hour security, like Johan mentioned. Okay. And these are the finishes we were talking about. We're going to take you inside for a moment. We'll take you inside, then we're going to take you outside, and then we're going to do numbers. So that's what you can expect over the next 20 minutes or so. All right, Italian ceramic tiles. We have sustainable finishes in the kitchen, living rooms, the bedrooms. All right, there's natural Italian porcelain. All right, everything here is being imported, so you're getting the highest quality from Europe. All right, everything is going to be impact and humidity high resistance. It gets pretty humid here in this country. So you definitely need to consider that. And general interior floorings, this is what you're looking at. This is the color scheme that will be coming with your unit. Okay, and there's also integrated air conditioning systems because it's also very hot here.
Indeed.
All right, here's a gorgeous render of one of the bedrooms. So you can see lots of natural filled light. Gorgeous large windows are going to come with your unit. All right, and these are some of the views you can expect out from the ground floor units out to the pool. All right, so now that everyone's got a little bit of visual, all right, we're going to take you out and think about some of the opportunities that come with this project. All right, again, we're speaking in general. We're going to dive into those specifics in just a minute. So you get access to the Cana Bay Beach Club. All right, over there, it allows you that direct beach access. So we know that Riviera Bay is not on the water. You're very close, but you get to be connected with the Cana Bay Beach Club. Jan, you want to talk a little bit about what that looks like, about how the access works?
Oh, yes, absolutely. For example, now as an owner of an apartment in Cana Bay, let's say you have the chance to get an apartment in Riviera Bay. The access to the beach club is really easy. You're not farther than than 5 or 10 minutes, from the beach or the beach access through Cana Bay Beach Club. I have to say that Cana Bay's Beach Club is one of the most beautiful beach clubs that we can find in Punta Cana. So as an owner of an apartment in Riviera Bay, you have full access to the beach club. So regardless of the fact that you want to eat something or not, you always have access to the beach. That's something that we got for owners of an apartment. So if you want to have access to the Cana Bay's Beach Club and eat something, there are plenty of options for you to enjoy. Delicious fried fish, white rice, Dominican seasoning, everything you can ask for. But not just, Cana Bay's Beach Club is going to be there for you. You also have access to the casino of the Hard Rock. You have access to the golf club or the golf camp of the Hard Rock, all inclusive. And many other attractions like, tennis courts, paddle tennis courts. So you can feel free to access to those, and to those you're going to have access to. and you have to pay for something. As an owner of an apartment in Riviera Bay, you're going to have special discounts that not other people can have whenever they have access to these amenities.
Awesome. So now in the chat, do we have any golfers, tennis players, or pickleballers on the webinar tonight? Throw up a hey in the chat or say hello.
Golfers, tennis players,
Golfer. We've got a golfer. Excellent. So this golf course has been designed.
Yes.
All right. So we've got golfers.
Jack Nicklaus.
Yes, Jack Nicklaus designed.
Golf course and Cana Bay.
Yes, he did. And so this is a world-renowned golf course designed by Jack Nicklaus. And I just, for curiosity's sake, because I'm not a golfer, I want to be, but I'm not one yet. And I went and checked out the reviews for this golf course. And this golf course, at least it rates at 4.3 to 4.5 out of 5 stars by several different golf ranking things that I found online today. So I found that great to know that, you know, just going and doing a general search on this actual golf course, it is highly rated. Things like the course is very well designed, forgiving at the beginning with some tough greens. The golf carts were in great condition, and snacks and drinks were easily acquired on the course. So those were just some of the general comments that I read online, and just in search for my own knowledge about how good or not good this golf course is. And so it ranks very, very well. Oh, we've got a pickleballer. Oh, Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve. So's my mom. And I also play a little bit of pickleball, not a lot, but I love it. So there is a universe of fun here, but for you as an owner, but also if you're looking at this from an investment standpoint, you want to be able to show any potential renter the number of amenities that are available to them when they come on vacation and they choose to stay at your property. And we're going to get into more of those numbers later, but there is nightlife, casinos, restaurants, the beach club, the golf courses, tennis, pickleball, and you are super close to water parks and downtown Punta Cana, shopping, like everything. Everything is there. There's a reason why, and Johan, do you know the number? How many tourists came through Punta Cana last year?
Michelle, you're there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, we lost you for a second. Or
Did
maybe
you
I
lose me
lost.
for a second?
Yes, you're back in.
Okay, so I was asking how many tourists more or less came through Punta Cana last year? Isn't it something like 8 million or something?
10 million.
10 million, 10 million. Yes. So there are the tourist numbers to back up the investment. So even if it's not something that you're planning to live in, but that you're planning to rent out, there are more than enough visitors coming that need accommodations. So this is one of the premium units here with its gorgeous rooftop terrace and an outdoor barbecue. So by investing here, you're not only acquiring a property, you are ensuring a future of comforts, luxury, and unique experiences. So I love this quote. I wrote this quote down on purpose, that real estate cannot be lost or stolen, nor can it be carried away. Purchased with common sense and paid for in full, managed with reasonable care, it is about the safest investment in the world. Let's breathe that in for a second. How many people on this webinar tonight, just throwing a me or a hands up, own your own property already back in the US or Canada or wherever you're joining us from, Puerto Rico? Okay, yep.
Ovando.
Okay.
Michael.
All right.
Ron.
Great. Ron. So for all of you who are already property owners, you understand the value of putting your hard-earned money into real estate. You know that when you've invested into real estate, it has been a place where your money has been guarded safely, has grown over time, has given you power in the form of equity. And we want you to continue on that journey of acquiring valuable real estate for your security and investment. So we are going to now go from the lifestyle, outside, design part, and we're going to slowly work our way into more of the details. So let's take a look at a sky view, okay, of what the outline of the buildings are going to look like. So here gets to be our configuration. All right, so we're in a little bit of an L shape here. And again, I want you to pay attention to this because when we get to look at some of the availability, these are your buildings. We've got A, B over here, C is this big building here, and then D is the small one here. All right. Coming in, let's look at some of the different types of units that are available to you.
Multiple
So
options to choose from.
yes, absolutely. So this is in Block A. This is a 1-bedroom unit. All right. The apartment, it's 62 square meters. So that's almost almost 700 square feet. All right. That's a great size for a 1-bedroom. It's really great. And you've got another like 5 square meters or 55 square feet in terrace, which is incredible. So you can see you've got a beautiful, spacious 1-bedroom with its own ensuite and bath. You've got your lovely kitchen, dining, living area that opens out onto your beautiful terrace. What more could you want in a 1-bedroom? If I was coming on vacation, I would be delighted to have this much space to stay in while I was on holiday. Wouldn't you?
Oh, yes, I would.
All right, so now here is unit B type, okay? And this is a 2-bedroom unit. So we've got 100 and almost 107 square meters, which is almost like 1150 in square feet. That's a good size 2-bed. All right. And the terrace affords you yet another like 7.5 square meters. So you can see here that it is incredibly spacious. Both the principal bedroom is very large. Okay. And then the second bedroom is enough for your guests or kids or anyone else who wants to come and stay with you in your unit. So you get the big one. That's what we say in our house. I get the big one.
Yes. Don't forget,
Right.
like, don't be worried about sharing your bathroom with other people who are visiting. They're going to have their own bathroom as well.
Exactly, exactly. So here we've got our unit 3, okay, or unit T, as it's called. This is a 3-bedroom unit, just so you have an idea. So we're going to go through this again. An incredible 123 square meters, over 1,300 square feet, with the terrace is almost 100 square feet on its own, which is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Check out that terrace. It's gorgeous. All right. And you've got all of your bedrooms wonderfully appointed with their bathrooms, lovely kitchen and dining area, incredibly spacious. There's nothing more that you could want in a 3-bedroom. If you have a big family, this is the ideal type of unit that you have if you've got more than one child, or if you've got lots of friends and family.
Exactly.
So again, here's another version, just so you can have a look at the way the buildings are laid out. Okay, A, B, C, and D. All right, it's a different perspective. And then again, moving on, I believe this would be building C, right? That's rendered there.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That's the back
Okay.
part of building C.
Yeah, and that's the backside in the parking area. Okay, and it's just as beautiful. So let's now dive into the money. All right. So there are a few options by which you can get into this investment. So when you're ready, you have the option to choose how you wish to pay this out. So obviously this is a pre-construction project and payments will happen through the course of construction with an option to do an early payment where you pay 90% down and then you pay nothing at all during the construction phase. And then your final payment's at 10%. You have the option to do 50% down and then 30 in construction and 20 when you get your keys. Or you can just come in for as little as 20% down. All right. Pay 60% through the course of construction. Okay. So again, not all at once. You're going to pay that 60% over the course of construction and the final 20% upon delivery. Okay. So there are options here. So you don't need to have all of this money, at least not all today. You can take some time and gather your funds, but these are options that can allow this investment to work for you.
And something to add to those payment plans before we get into the next slide is that if you decide to choose the first one, which is the prompt payment of 90%, okay, in 30 days, you get to have a 6% discount, okay? Now, whereas if we're talking about the 50% upfront payment, then you get to have 30% discount. Okay. But later on, we're going to continue to talk about some other special payment plans that we
Yeah.
can offer for
Yeah.
members of the seminar.
Yes, we have some really sweet incentives for you. So don't leave the webinar. If you're going to leave, then make sure you go watch the replay because you won't know about them unless you watch to the end. Dun, dun, dun. I want you to stay. So let's break it down for you. We know that I've got a few investors here today. And for all of you individual investors, we're going to break down one of the larger units. All right. So this is one of the units up on the highest floor with the rooftop terrace. Okay. It's 469. You have a garden view, okay, it's your square meterage, you get 100 and almost 150 square meters, okay, which is over 1,600 square feet. This is one of the largest units that we have available. And we're gonna just take you through. So we tend to use a very conservative number when we do estimated revenue or return on investment. So we use 55%. Now, Punta Cana is capable of delivering far more than that, but let's just be on the conservative side for tonight. For this type of unit, you would get approximately $270 per night. All right. You've got your property management because there is a built-in management system, which we're also going to get into here with Noval. Okay. And they will charge you 30% of your rentals and you keep 70. All right. And the 30% we will break down as to what all you get for that. And you've got your HOA is $2 per square meter. Right? $2 a square meter. Yes. Okay. And then there's insurance because we all get to be responsible and have insurance. All right. There's maintenance for Cana Bay. Okay. And your electricity costs. So what does that mean? All right. We end up with an average gross income of over $64,000. We get you a return on investment over your 10 years at 7.5%. And your third period profit, 91,000. Okay. So these numbers are great. And we want to show you how. So we're going to break this down a little bit farther for you. So here's some financial projections so that you can see. And for everyone who's on here, don't worry, I will send you an email tomorrow with all of the slides here so that you have all of this information for yourself. All right. You will have all of this tomorrow. So you don't need to frantically start, doing screen captures if you don't want to. So here we go. We're looking at breaking it down, 55% occupation. Nightly rate, there's your numbers. Boom. Management's going to take this much. You've got Comforteur, which we're going to go into in a moment. And these are your numbers that you're looking at. Your electricity, okay, and your total expenses. So your annual net profit is at just under $30,000 with a net monthly profit at 2441. This gives you an annual ROI in the beginning at 6.25%. Okay, bringing you up to an annual capital gain. So you can see as we go through the years, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, you're already at 7.38% ROI. Okay, the value, okay, of that property coming up significantly. So you can see that in the course of 10 years, you're going to end up at 9% ROI on your investment. I don't think that there's many GICs out there doing that these days. So this gets to be a space where you can safely both acquire an incredible property on an island in the Caribbean and make your money grow as well as your investment. All right. Okay. So, yes, prices do go from 187. You said that. All right, let's move on. So here are some of the units. There is still quite a bit available. Now, this is not, I apologize, my slides are not 100% up to date. So, Johan, tell me, please, when you released this project out to all of your previous clients and investors, how many were sold within the first 20 minutes?
We're talking about 20 reservations in 20 minutes. It was
20
one
reservations, yes.
per minute when this development was released.
Okay. And why do you think that is? I have a good idea why, but I want you to tell me. Why do you think you were able to have 20 reservations in 20 minutes?
Generally speaking, we're talking about Punta Cana, one of the most profitable, places to invest right now in the Dominican Republic. Secondly, we're talking about a reputable and well-known developer, which is Noval. Everybody knows Noval is in Punta Cana. And on top of that, all of the amenities that you can enjoy by being part of Cana Bay. And prices are really good. We're talking about 187 for a one-bedroom unit. And
Yep.
Besides that, we're talking about having access to one of the most beautiful beaches that you have in Punta Cana. And that's what, many tourists are looking for.
Yeah.
Beaches, beautiful beaches, tropical weather.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So there's lots of units that are still available as this development has just been released, I believe about 6 weeks ago, correct?
Mhm.
Somewhere there.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So before we get to the special incentives, I want to go back and discuss about this fun thing that we call Confiture. So do we see how this line is blank? Does anyone here curious about Confiture? Yes, no, maybe? All right, let's just tell people what Confiture is all about. There we go. Thomas wants to know about Confiture. So Confiture is a special tourism-based tax break, which allows you to come in to,
Don't share this slide of computers while you explain that.
yeah, which one?
If you want me to share this slide of Comfortor while you're explaining that so they can see it,
Yeah, sure, go for it.
let me share. Here we go.
I'll stop my share. You go. So,
So go ahead, Michelle.
okay, so Confiture is a law, tourism-based law that gives you, there you go, tax benefits. What tax benefit? It means that you don't need to pay the 3% title transfer tax that is normally due upon purchase of any property here in the Dominican Republic. And it also allows you a tax benefit against the property taxes that are normally paid annually for between 10 to 15 years. So that is an incredible savings. So for example, here we have an example here. The tax exemption represents 3% of the property value. So if you purchase a property that's 200,000, you're going to save 6. Okay, we've got a question. All right, we'll get to all the questions at the end. And also, team, you can, besides the chat, you can also enter in the Q&A, whichever one you prefer. So this is an incredible benefit. The Confiture benefit is amazing, and it's not easy to come by. And you have to, as a company, have everything together and really go after it with the government in order to acquire it for your property. But the Dominican Republic very, very heavily encourages foreign investment, and they want investors to be available, and they want investors to find the Dominican Republic a very attractive space to come and put their money. So how about we go back, Johan, to your slide where you show the money piece, and we're going to move on to special incentives for everybody. So we are here already. What's that?
Payment plan?
Yep, we're gonna go, you're gonna go to the payment plan, but first we're gonna talk about the special incentives. So
Right.
I'm gonna bring my screen back here.
Yeah.
Oh, where'd it go? There it is. Okay, we'll just share my desktop and oh, not that one. Sorry, team. I lost my slide share. Okay. Oh, not that one. Okay. Well, we lost it there for a second. So let's just talk about the special incentives while I get that back. We have a few amazing things for everyone today. So we start off with the reservation. If you are interested in this incredible project, you only need $3,000 to reserve. That's a wonderful. Normally it's $5,000, correct?
Correct. That is correct.
That is correct. And here we go. The other incentive, one second. There we go. Is going to be the 20-40-40 payment plan. Thank you everyone for your patience on that, me finding that slide. Okay, so we have 20-40-40 payment plans. Remember we were talking to you that you had the options that you could pay 90 at the beginning, 50 or 20, and the 21 had a 60% over the course of the construction. Well, this one you only have to pay 40 over the course of construction. So you're gonna be making, you can make monthly, quarterly payments during the course of construction. In a moment, when we get there, Johan's gonna go through and show you what that's really gonna look like number-wise. All right, we have a fly and buy program. So basically, if you come down to buy and you can show us your flight ticket receipts and your hotel, there is a, I believe it's $2,000, is it, Johan?
$1,000 credit, yes.
$2,000 credit that you will get for coming down, flying down to buy. All right, and just for being a part of this webinar, you can receive $1,000 signing bonus upon the promise of sale, okay, plus your 20% down payment. All right, so we sign the promise of sale when we put down the 20%. When that happens, then you get $1,000 signing bonus just for being on this webinar. Okay, so those are
$1,000 credit and a payment plan with the fly and buy, $1,000 signing bonus. We're talking about 3,000 right off the bat. And
yeah, and
a flexible payment plan compared to the other ones.
Exactly. And for those of you who are really interested in jumping into this project, this is an incredible, just icing on the cake way of walking you in with some very, very sweet bonuses. So we are super proud that we were able to put those together. And we want to get into some of the Q&A, but first I want Johan to share his screen, and he's going to show you what the difference between 2060-20 and 2040-40 really looks like for you if you are thinking about stepping in to this amazing project.
Here we go. So let me know if you can see this Excel spreadsheet. Michelle, can you take a look at this? Can you see this? Just let me know. You can raise your hand or send a text message, okay? Here we go. Tom can see it. Paul can see it. Pretty good.
Okay, great.
So let's say that we're talking about a 187K unit, right?
And that's one of the one-bedroom units.
That is
so
correct.
So if we're coming to a one-bedroom unit, there's several available at 187,000.
That is correct. Then let's talk about the reservation date. Let's imagine you make a reservation today. Today is January 15th, I think.
Yep.
2024. Oh, Happy New Year to everyone. We forgot to say that.
Oh, yeah. Happy New Year.
So the delivery date is July 2026. Okay. So here, let's say that you're going to select to have monthly payments. You can choose whatever you want. You can choose monthly payments, every 2-month payments, or even every 3 or 4-month payments. Okay. Let's just keep monthly payments. So we're going to give you 30 days to complete the 20% of the unit plus the signing of the contract or the promise to sell after revision, of course. So if we take a look at the reservation date and the delivery date, we're going to have, several monthly payments. Let's see if we can have, yes, April. Yes, here we go. Say 27. Let's say we have, as an example, 27 monthly payments.
Yep.
The 20-60-20, which is the standard payment plan, the first payment is the $5,000 reservation fee. After this, we give you 30 days to complete the 20%. In this case, the remainder of the 20% is $32,400. Then after this, let's imagine you start, let's see. Well, this has to be changed. Let's just say April. Imagine you start in April right away with your monthly payments. The first one, it's going to be $4,156, okay? And as you can see, you're going to have 27 payments, the same amount, no variation. We don't change the monthly payments. We don't charge you for any interest if you decide to pay in advance. We don't do that. And the price of the apartment will always remain the same until the end, until you're delivered your apartment. I'm mentioning this because also Michelle knows it's commonplace that over here, you might have certain variations in the price of your apartment depending on how inflation attacks and, some other external circumstances. But over here, that's not going to happen. And another great thing is that you're going to be making your payments along with the milestones of the construction process so that you can feel comfortable making your payments, seeing that the construction process is advancing. okay?
Yeah.
Which is really important to mention. Now, at the end, with this standard payment plan, your final payment is going to be 37,388, which is 20% to complete 100% of the value of the unit. Now, since you're part of this webinar, here are the incentives or benefits. First one, instead of 5,000, you just have to make a reservation payment of 3,000, right? And on top of that, you don't have to pay 60% during the construction process. We can take that down to 40%, and instead of paying 4,156 every single month, you're going to be paying just 2,770. And at the end, you will leave all of that 40% for the completion date, which is when you can get a mortgage loan through any banks in the Dominican Republic, and they can give you, really good rates for over 15 to 20 years. Let me know, is that clear? And I think there's a really, really great opportunity. The fact that you can reduce that 60% to 20 to 40, that you can reserve with 3,000 instead of 5,000, and many other incentives more, like the fly and buy and the $1,000 sign-in bonus. This is an incredible opportunity that we're bringing you tonight, and we would love you to consider it and take advantage of it if you think this is the best thing to do right now.
Yeah.
So going back to you, Miss.
Yep, let's now jump into our Q&A time. So now, hang on, I'm going to pull up our chat because I know that there's been several questions dropped in there. So let's take a moment and go back. So, will it be Confiture certified? Yes, absolutely, it will be. So you're looking for a penthouse. Is it Marcia or Marcia? So let's see, we do have penthouse options. Let's see, we've got how much taxes are mandated for Airbnb rentals. At the moment, I don't, it would be standard income, would it not? Joanna, I think it depends if you are an individual person or a corporation. Is that correct?
True. But in the case of, for example, Riviera Bay, what we have is a hotel administration. And the split is they give you 70% of the profits, and with the 30%, which is very similar to what you end up paying an Airbnb at the end, when you compare the cleaning fee, the taxes, the host payment and all these things. But in the case of the hotel administration, they take care of everything for you. You don't have to worry about getting the clients. You don't have to worry about cleaning the apartment. They get the clients through tour operators, which is one of the most efficient ways of getting, tourists interested in renting apartments.
Absolutely.
And besides that, you don't have, as I say, you don't have to worry about that. But this is a hotel administration touristic development. Okay.
Yes. And something I think people need to know is that when you do invest, basically Noval makes it so that you don't ever have to lift a finger to care for this unit at all or to fill it. That your rental management company not only manages the property, but also brings in occupants. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct. There's another interesting question right here. It's coming from Strong Tower Consulting Group. Is there a legal representation available in the DR for U.S. purchases? Of course, there is. Let's just mention Guzman Ariz as an example, one of the strongest and best law firms that there is in the Dominican Republic right now. They can get in contact with them, and they can represent you throughout the whole process, from the reservation payment to the end when you are delivered your apartment.
Yes, and they also can deliver their services in English, which I know is important for many of our North American purchasers. So what are the demographics in the near area to this project? So I'm going to guess, Elvin, are you asking, what other types of people live there? Well, just based on my own personal knowledge is that in areas such as Punta Cana, as well as up here in Cabarete Sosua, you are going to have a very international demographic because you're having people who are international travelers from all over the world, not only coming there to stay on vacation, but also living there as well and servicing all of the people in this area. All right. So as far as I'm aware, it is a very international community, also mixed in with a wonderful Dominican community at the same time. All right.
If management charges 30%, well, I think there is a confusion over here. One thing is Airbnb and the other one is hotel administration.
Separate.
For talking about in regards to Riviera Bay is hotel administration. And when you're talking about that, the charge is 30%. And as you could see, for example, in the numbers that Michelle was showing to you, this is also to answer one of the messages over here in regards to the 6% return of investment. We're talking about 7 point something, 6 point something, 7 point something net. Okay, we're not talking about gross, because if we're talking about that, that can go as high to 10 to 13%. But then you got to pay attention to the hotel administration fee, the electricity bill. And after you get all these expenses covered, you get to have from $1,500 to $2,000 a month only with 55 occupancy rate. We're not talking about 100% occupancy rate, which is 55%. You can get to have this really good deal of money every single month. And this is what you get into your pocket after taking care of all the expenses that we just mentioned, the HOA, the hotel administration, the electricity bill, telephone, cable, and all these things that you're going to need in your apartment to make it, eligible for a rental pool.
Yeah. Yes, and let's be clear. So I know that Elvin was asking that it's higher than a mortgage payment, because it's not a mortgage payment. So you're being able to pay off that 40 or 60% of the cost of the project in 27 months. So most mortgages would never ever be that short of a span of time. However, your end part, so that very final payment, you can acquire a mortgage here through a Dominican bank. They do allow for North American and British citizens the possibility of getting a mortgage. Currently, the best rate you can get is 9% over 5 years. They will amortize longer. However, the rate will vary after that. So if you go with the 20, 40, 40, yes, 60% of that needs to be paid within the first 28 months of the construction phase. And when you acquire your keys, that last chunk you can mortgage, and that would be like a normal, look more like a normal mortgage. I do believe we have another question sort of about what people are living nearby. So Riviera Bay is inside of Cana Bay, correct, Johan? And Cana Bay is a gated community, yes?
Yes, it's a gated community, and you have a lot of foreign investors. You have a lot of people from Canada, from the States. You also get to have some Dominicans, but these are absent Dominicans, people who left the country 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and they just went to the States or Canada for a better living. They had their own business over there, increased their economy, became, completely different. And now they're coming back to invest in the Dominican Republic, and especially in these areas. If we're talking about enclosed communities, exclusive communities, you're talking about Cap Cana, Cana Bay, and Cocotal, for example. So there's no way you can have access to these areas if you're not an owner, if you don't have a special pass, or if you're not invited in advance. It's not that, oh, let me just go to Cana Bay and let me just get in and enjoy the tennis court or the golf. This is a very private community, and people who live in this type of communities are people who love security, who love, privacy, and who love to be safe.
Yeah. So, and we've got another question from Cedric. So is the minimum 55% occupancy guaranteed? No, that's an average. And we estimated on the very low end, on the very conservative side of taking care of those numbers. It can absolutely go higher up to, 60 or 70% occupancy. But of course, no one has a magic wand. But we know confidently from many past years where occupancy rates will sit in the area and on the island in general. Now it will fluctuate throughout the year. There's going to be some points of the year where you're at 100%. And then we are a tourist destination. So there are natural undulations in the travel cycles of North Americans, obviously, with winter, freezing cold being probably the busiest time, which would be now, is it not? Okay. So do we have are there any I don't see any other questions popping in there. Feel free to drop your questions in for anyone who still has one.
What are the discounts, incentives available for the 3 bedrooms? Well, if you're referring to discounts besides the incentives that we have just mentioned, these are things that we can certainly discuss, throughout the negotiation process. If you want to have a personalized Zoom meeting and talk about these things, that we can also, feel free to let us know your availability, and we can, get into a Zoom meeting and we can talk about special discounts or offers that we can get depending on how we can, negotiate on that, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's going to stop our share there so we can get back into our faces. But something I really want everyone to, to just take a moment to come back and center is Punta Cana, again, is one of the most sought after tourist destinations in the Caribbean. The Dominican Republic is generally an incredibly safe place. There are very few, acts of God that happen here as far as anything crazy or damaging. This is a safe place to come. I came here 25 years ago as a 25-year-old. Yep, my 50th birthday is coming up in a week. And I just want to share with people that, I have never felt more at home anywhere ever, even in my native Canada. And that investing here has been the best thing that I have ever done for my own personal financial benefit. It has been the thing that has given me the greatest amount of wealth that I have acquired in my lifetime at this point. And I want to share with all of you, considering this as an investment for yourself personally, that coming to this country is a safe venture. And I consider myself someone of great integrity, and I want to share with you projects, and as does Realtor DR, that we thoroughly believe in, that we stand behind, and that we have vetted. Okay, so yes, I know this is a webinar and we're sharing about this project and we really want you to step into it, but you get to know the integrity behind the project and the integrity behind the people who are presenting it to you today, and that we are 1,000% confident that this can be one of the best investments that you will ever make. And you will never regret owning property in the Caribbean. I will tell you that. Hands down, you will never regret being able to walk away from winter in New York or New Jersey or Toronto and say, I'm going to my place in the DR. That alone is gold in itself. And then on top of it, you're going to get that return. You're going to not have to worry about what's happening to your apartment when you're not there. Because if you're like me, you're still working. You're not going to be able to live there full time. Maybe you'll never be able to live there full time. And maybe the thought goes through your head, how on earth am I going to take care of this place from New York? How is that going to happen? This is how it happens. Noval is how it happens. They have integrated absolutely everything for you, from the management and the care of the property to creating a vehicle for rentals to happen for you. I don't know if any of you have Airbnbs, but I'll tell you, having an Airbnb is like having a job. I'll happily give up my co-host status on all of the properties that I manage in a heartbeat and hand them over to Noval. Thank you very much. Yes, I would. Because I would be getting the same return as I would with Airbnb. So I just wanted to confidently share that perspective on why I feel so passionately and why I put myself both behind Realtor DR and Noval in sharing this opportunity with everyone.
Yes,
So
great words over there.
yeah.
And then just one less thing to add. Sometimes when we're talking about pre-construction developments, we might feel that, 2 years, 3 years from now, that's a long time. But just sit down for a moment and think about 10 years ago. Does it feel it's been 10 years?
Nope.
When you look back and you see time in the past, it's when you truly feel that life is passing by really fast. That 2 years or 3 years, they just look a long time if you see them in the future. But time is going to pass by regardless. Whether or not you make the decision of changing your life for the better, time is going to pass by. And we're always waiting for this perfect moment to make a great investment or even to make a great decision. We always have a great opportunity in today's day to change our life and to make a future better for ourselves and for people who are surrounding us. And we're inviting you to explore the possibility of making a great decision. And maybe, who knows, you can have this wonderful property in the Caribbean. And 3 years from now, you're going to be telling yourself, oh, thank God, or it was great that I made the decision in the past, because now I have this great property that I can enjoy. I can bring my family with me, and I can also get some money for myself. And I don't have to administer this property. Why? Because I dared to make a decision in the past. This is the reason why I have a brighter future now. And it's important that we, as I said to a friend of mine in a conversation, we got to think big. We got to change our perspective, because if we keep it normal, usually normal doesn't change the world. So we got to see farther and make decisions that are going to affect us positively and are going to encourage others to do the same. And that's what we are here for, to help you through the whole process and make a great decision that is going to change your life, and certainly is going to change ours.
Yes, absolutely. So what I want to give to everyone right now, if you're still on the call, is the opportunity to grab the reservation form. So right there in the chat, I've dropped that. So if you'd like to, this is the form that you would need to send back in order to start the reservation process. So if you'd like to, feel free to click on that and grab that form. You are not obliged to anything. And for those of you who are not quite ready to grab a form, I want you to grab a slot on my calendar. So right there is my calendar link. Okay, so the first link is to the form. All right. And the second link is to my calendar. So I would love to have an opportunity to sit down and speak with you, and to share with you more about the ins and outs of the project, to answer your personal questions, and to make sure that you feel 100% confident moving forward in this investment. All right. So there's your links. Everyone grab them for those of you who are still on with us. And again, you're not obligated, but we get to share with you that those incentives that we told you about, those are only valid until the 31st of January. All right. So you would need to step in before the end of the month. So for those of you who are thinking about it, now is the time. Now is the time to grab the form and grab a slot on my calendar. Let's talk about it some more. Let's answer your personal questions, and let's be able to get you moving through and to score those awesome incentives, because who doesn't love a deal?
Yes. And then let's focus on that part once again. No strings attached. Fill out the form so that you can have more information about the development. And in case you're interested in something else, we can also talk about it. But feel free to fill the form, and we're going to be there for you in your personalized Zoom meeting to get into details. That's what the form is all about.
Absolutely. And remember that also Noval has many projects on the go. Tonight, we're just talking about Riviera Bay. There are a few others. So if you are interested in investing in Punta Cana, I can take you through some of those other options as well. So just so that you're aware of that. And for those of you who are on, who could still be interested, February 13th is the day that we are going to be hosting our next webinar. And we're going to be talking about River Island, which is also in Bávaro in Punta Cana. So we're going to be doing that in another month. However, we can be available to speak with you at any time. So I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. We are on time. 1 hour.
That's correct.
Yes. And I hope that everyone has found this incredibly informative and valuable information. And we can't wait to be able to have further conversations with you. So remember, conversation is just that. It's a way to acquire more knowledge so that you can make an informed decision moving forward. And we hope that we've given you some of that this evening. So we bid you all a wonderful evening.
Okay.
And for anyone interested, we'll be in touch very soon. Look out for that email in your inbox tomorrow.
We're excited to see you.
Cedric. All right.
Bye.
Good night.